Alright, boys, sharpen your pencils, because I'm going to take you to school again.
Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharper, running through the off-season NBA team reports here at SBR Forum, and it's time to take a look at a team that has improved by a lot since last year in the Eastern Conference, and that is the Brooklyn Nets. Of course, last year, a pretty solid season in the playoffs and a regular season combined. They were 52-37 straight up and an even 43-43-3 against the spread. Lost to the Bulls in 7 games in the first round of the playoffs. Great defensively last season, but offensively struggled at times. However, both of those are going to be improved tenfold this offseason because of the huge mega trade and subsequent signings they have pulled off this offseason. Of course, the big news coming into the NBA this offseason is Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Jason Terry all being traded from the Boston Celtics to the Brooklyn Nets for a combination of Gerald Wallace, Chris Humphries, Marshawn Brooks, and Keith Bogans, along with 3 and possibly even 4 future first-round picks. Brooklyn is going all in. They are not kidding around. They're going to pay a huge luxury tax bill this offseason. Owner Mikhail Prokhorov seems to not care, and this team looks like it's headed to a contender in the Eastern Conference. Now, I'm not quite sold on their ability to beat the Heat just yet, but they could be one of the best offensive and defensive combo starting fives in the NBA with a combination of Darren Williams, Joe Johnson, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Brook Lopez. Could be a very dangerous starting unit. Now, a little bit of concern coming out of that trade was their depth. However, they've pretty much solved that issue as well because they re-signed Andre Blatche, going to serve as a really good backup there as a big man, first big man off the bench for them, as well as they got Andre Kirilenko to a very small deal compared to what he just opted out of. A little curious there. And they grabbed veteran guard Sean Livingston, former high overall lottery pick back in the day. So a lot of good veterans, a lot of good mix of guys on this team. A little concerned about their age, just slightly, because a lot of them are approaching or on the wrong side of that 30 mark. But other than that, the Brooklyn Nets should be a really solid team this year, and their future odds show it because they are 10-1 to win the title. That's behind only Miami and Oklahoma City, who are around 6-1 and higher, and then they are tied with Chicago and Houston at 10-1. So those 5 teams at Bet365, solid odds to win the NBA title this year. I think we have to look at Brooklyn as a title contender, especially in the Eastern Conference. But right now, I'm not sold on them quite yet that they can beat the Miami Heat, and that's why they are so high at 10-1 there in the Eastern Conference. Great team on paper. Probably going to have another fantastic season in Brooklyn. I expect a top 3 or 4 finish in the Eastern Conference. However, it's going to be really hard to bet that 10-1 for them to beat the Miami Heat unless something seriously bad happens to the Heat throughout the season. That'll do it for me this time. Make sure you check all my other team reports on the other 29 teams in the NBA, all the NBA offseason news that revolves around the betting world. But until then, thanks for joining me this time. I'm Jordan Sharp.